Hey, so guess where I'm at? I'm back at my favorite spot where I shot, two other videos or three other videos. And today, I am finally going to cut that piece of aluminum into pieces and take it back with me. Now, I know I said that before, and I've actually shot like 3 videos of me trying to do it, but there's no cutting this. I can't. It's just aluminum, but it's too hard to cut. I don't know why. But today, I got a new Christmas present, which I'm going to talk about when we get to the spot. But it should do the job of cutting it. It should. So I'm pretty excited. But while we're here, my Christmas tree. Some of the stuff fell off of it, but it's still decorated. And what do you expect for being out here? But it's still decorated. So I'm gonna grab my piece of aluminum and I'm gonna take it over to the spot, and then we'll talk about some of the recent developments and tell you about some of the great progress I have, because things are going exceedingly better, but there's still some weirdness I want to speak about too. Hey, so here's the good news. Alright, so today I walked 2 odd miles to but I had a reason this time. I didn't just walk to talk. I walked up to my favorite spot, the spot where I usually build campfires, drink, chill out, whatever. And I came up here to get this. That pipe. It's heavy, but I'm going to cut it in half, and that's going to be my foundry pipe that I found out here. Oh, building a fire. It's a little chilly, but so that's going to be my foundry pipe, and that's what I came out here for, in a sense. And I don't know if I'm going to try to cut it in half with my new toy or not. Let's talk about Christmas. Alright, so Christmas has come and gone 2 days ago, and I got most of a camcorder. I paid for half of it. It got split 3 ways as my Christmas present. And I got a $10 from my grandfather. So I didn't get a whole lot of Christmassy stuff, but I seized opportunities and I sold some of the copper I had saved up for melting to get some more money, and then they won some money on the lottery, so they gave me some more money, and at the end I ended up with almost $50. So with this newfound riches, I bought this. It is the DeWalt handsaw. It's like $7. It's or $10 at our Lowe's. It's kind of cheap, but it takes any hacksaw blade. You tighten it down. It got a metal and a wood one. That's what it comes with. Pretty comfortable handle. I'm not sure the quality yet, how it works, but I'm going to use it to finally cut this thing into pieces. It's gonna happen today. And to top it off, to add to my riches, I found this. I don't know what this is. It's some sort of motor. That is all copper in there. If I can figure out how to get the copper out, I'm taking it with me too. I'm not taking the whole thing with me because it weighs like 12 pounds by itself. You take the copper out, it's only going to be like 6 pounds. So it'll save me maybe 4. But it'll be a significant less amount of weight. So that's what I'm going to do with that if I can. If not, I'm going to hide it somewhere and come back with other tools and figure out how to do it later, but it's coming with me sooner or later, because if I don't melt it down, I'll scrap it. I took out 5 pounds of copper and got $10. It was dirty copper. They only give you $2.05 here per pound. They're not like, I was watching Thub, Let's Do the Thing, that guy, and he I think he gets gets like almost $3, but he's in Canada, so it's a little different. I'm down here in the cheap old US of A, and I thought with, you know, oh, by the way, what I actually want to talk about, like, I'm gonna take for a little walk and stuff, but on the back side of the trail. Actually, that's what I'll do. I'll talk about it when I get to the back side of the trail. I'm gonna finish getting this fire going. I'm gonna cut this into pieces, but this is why we're here. Cut that into pieces. I'm gonna take it with me. The pipe, it's going with me, and that I just found, and it's probably gonna go with me if I can fit it all in the backpack. So that is the overall plan. So I think about an hour and a half has passed, maybe an hour, give or take, ballpark estimate. I don't really know, but that DeWalt hand saw that does metal and wood, completely useless. Like, okay, so I can get a cut started, and it goes okay, but the second it binds up, the blade bends. If it binds anywhere, if it isn't a complete smooth cut, it binds up and the blade is shot. So I'm telling you what, if they'll take it back, I'm freaking returning it. But on a side note, with a little force, I got that aluminum thing apart. It's in like 7 pieces. I'm hoping to take it with me. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I got the hiccups. And it's a bad time to film when I got hiccups, but it just kind of happened when I turned the camera on, so whatever. You know, I'm human. Mistakes happen. So, I got this aluminum cut up, and it's going with me. The pipe from the foundry's cut up, or it's going with me. I ain't cutting that because it's like steel. It's like hard, you know, thick steel. I'm going to cut it with the angle grinder, which should be exciting because it'll be the toughest thing I cut so far. Like, I'm pretty excited about it. Like, I'm just trying not to get angle grinder pieces in my face. I have used the angle grinder and cut a deer antler and some copper cable. And you're probably thinking, like, why would he use an angle grinder to cut copper cable? Well, it was pretty thick, and I don't have any pliers. So, I work with what I got. At least I try to. So, today has been a pretty interesting day. It's starting to get dark, so I wanted to have a conversation. I wanted to kind of, like, keep this video in the 20-minute mark, because, well, I know I don't like to sit and watch somebody talk forever, and this is something I'm trying not to do. But it's been an interesting day. I walked into the woods, and I didn't have the camera rolling, and I was walking, and I saw a couple of deer, and I was like, oh, cool, you know what? I haven't seen a deer down here in a couple of weeks. That's kind of nice, you know? Something alive. And then, you know, I keep walking, and all of a sudden, you know, about somewhere between 5 and 20 doves just like shoot out of the reed things, like the little whatever those are. Japanese knotweed, I guess. Like, they just shot out of there, and I'm like, well, that is kind of like, you know, that was a little scary. It wasn't, I don't want to say it was actually scary, but it would definitely surprise me a little bit, because, you know, if one goes and takes off, it makes a noise, and you're like, oh, look, a dove. But when 20 of them, or somewhere between 5 and 20, just take off all at once, it's like, holy crap, what's with a stampede? Because their wings make a lot of noise. But anyways, I keep walking. The doves, you know, they all find a nice place away from me that they feel safe. And I take a step back in the woods to look at something. Oh, that copper thing. I seen it laying there, and I was like, I searched all this before. I wonder where that came from. I took 2 steps into the woods, and one of my favorite animals took off up through the woods. Bet you can't guess what it is. No, a red fox. And I don't want to say they're like my favorite animal, like turtles are my favorite animals, but I thought if I ever was going to have a wild pet that would have some sort of like obedient mentality, that I'd be able to like give it some level of training, it would be a fox. Like, foxes are just one of my favorite critters. Foxes, turtles, that's pretty much it. Foxes and turtles. Like, I love all animals. All animals should live and be fine, and all life should be cherished, and yada yada yada, but foxes and turtles should be like on a pedestal. That's just how it is. So, anyways, look at this. Bam! The chasm. For some reason, when they cut this all out, they cut this like right through a giant hillside. And I want to climb this someday. And it's not really crazy difficult. Like, I know I can do it. But the shifty shell rock stuff always freaks me out. Like, I freehand climb. I don't use rope. Rope weighs stuff and I walk. So when I climb with my hands, nothing else. Well, my feet, but no rope, no tools. I'm almost 100% positive I can make it up this, and it'll be okay. But I don't think I'm doing it today. I'll save it for another video. So whenever I was walking into the woods, and I was showing you guys the Christmas tree, I told you that I wanted to talk about something weird going on, alright? So it's 2 days after Christmas, and I've gotten a lot accomplished. I got roughly about $50 worth of presents, including my camera. I did pay a portion for the camera, but I got more batteries. I found even more batteries. I cleaned up another section of the bedroom. I did it a day earlier than I usually do because I had some downtime and it was dark and I couldn't play with my angle grinder. But speaking of angle grinders, I got my angle grinder up and running, but the flange was like $11. The flange with a wrench, and I was like, it's a little pricey, but I need it, and it's better than getting it offline. So I'll just buy it, and it'll be whatever. It'll be my Christmas present to me out of the money I got. So I got the flange, and that's all good. It was all good, but I went and put it on, and put on the cutting discs I have, and with the cutting discs that I have, I can't put the guard on. So I don't know how old the cutting discs are, because I got them with the grinder, and both things are from some retired guy that doesn't use them anymore. So I don't know how long they sit. Like, he said he doesn't even know how long it's been sitting, or if it works, or anything. So I was a little nervous. I'm like, what if there's no guard? I bought safety goggles. They were surprisingly cheap. Like, I thought they'd be more money, but they were like $3. So I got safety goggles, and I've been using the disc, and I cut through an antler, an aluminum pole. It was probably like an inch in diameter, but it was hollow. And I cut through probably, I would like to say, 15 yards of copper wire. Thick copper wire. And I cut off the parts that still had insulation on it, and I cut the other parts off and I put it in a box. And the parts without insulation I'm going to use for melting. The parts with insulation, I'm going to take one of these days and peel the insulation off and go take it in for money, because, well, let's just say I probably accumulated about 20 to 30 pounds of copper. And there's still probably another, 8 or 9 pound piece sitting where I found the others that I still haven't been able to carry back because, well, I walk everywhere and I'm only one man. So to get that piece and the piece that I have up here, I probably have roughly, 30 pounds of copper that I can to play with, and that's more than enough. So anything I get beyond that, I'm going to take straight to the junkyard and scrap it for some money, because, well, I can use the money to fuel my other things. So I cut everything with the angle grinder that I wanted to cut, except for the foundry stuff. I figure I'm going to try to do that all at once, and I want to get like I'm going to do a voiceover video, because I want to see how that goes with editing. And with the noise from the angle grinder, it'll just be better. So I'll do a little intro where I'll talk and be like, hey, what's up? And then I'll voice over the rest of the thing and have my foundry made. So I found cardboard sheeting that I plan to cut into a 7-inch circle to make the insert for my foundry, because I want the inside to be 7 inches across the diameter. For a particular reason. One, it gives me like a 2 1/4 inch melting chamber. I don't know what they call it. Like, I know they have a plinth, and I know they have the crucible, the wall thickness, the foundry itself. But I don't know what they call, like, the refractory is going to be like 2.5 thick. That's what I'm trying to say. The refractory is going to be about 2.5 inches thick. I think that'll be reasonable. And then I got to decide if the part of the barrel that I want to cut off, if I'm going to use that as a lid, or if I want to get something else for a lid. I'm not really sure. So that's kind of like a shot in the dark too. And then I got to figure out how to cut the hole for my pipe for my hair dryer. Yes, there we go. Words. I know words. Hair dryer. So, yeah, I'm gonna cut the hole for the hair dryer pipe, do all that, use the refractory, get the refractory where it needs to be, and all that nonsense. I got all that figured out. So the foundry, cut the top off, decide what I'm gonna do for the lid is the only part. I got steel wool, I got 2 things of plaster Paris and about a gallon of sand, and I did all the r times pi r squared times the height, and then pi r squared times the height, and then subtract the 2 and got, like, you know, the cubic or the cubic inches of space is going to be in the cylinder, and I converted it to liters, and then converted the liters to gallons, and it comes to about 1.5 gallons of refractory I'll need. So I did a bunch of math stuff, which I'm pretty proud of myself, because I haven't used anything like that for a little while. Like, it's been a while. Like, I babysit this kid and I help him with math, but his math is like 6th grade stuff, 5th grade. It's like, you know, plus, minus, multiply, and divide. It's nothing really complicated. It's pretty simple. So I haven't really used that stuff in a little bit. So it was kind of nice to know I still knew how to do it. But I'm still on the same walk. It's been probably about another hour. But I'm in on the way back. You can see how it's starting to get dark out here. It's actually getting kind of cold. Like, as far as I know. I've been stranded for so long. It's December 27th. But you never really know what day it actually is. So, I came here to my old foundation. To show you that I actually accomplished the unaccomplishable. I did the one thing a man couldn't do. Cut aluminum. That used to be my hexagon. And yeah, I know, it's something people do all the freaking time, but that saw was ridiculous. Like, literally, I cut one section and folded it and bent it until it broke over and over again. I'm taking it back. And there's the pipe. It's coming with me too. I have it on a tree because I was using it to try to get the copper out of that thing. Because I thought if I can ram the inside out and just take the inside, I'd figure it out from there. But I can't even do that, and I'm not taking the whole freaking thing because I have other stuff in my backpack, and I don't want to break it. So, I'm going to leave it. If someone finds it and takes it, they find it and take it. If they don't, then I'll have another $3 in copper. Or $5. Somewhere between 3 and 5. But, alright guys,